Alright guys, welcome to my part 2 of Polkadot's expected price performance over time. First of all, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a guy recording his methodologies on the web. So this channel uses diagrams to review project's health so you can get an overall picture of a project's potential ability to perform. We use the colors green for something that's going to add for something that's expected to add to price increases over time. Yellow is uncertain or neutral for contributing to price performance over time, and red is something that is likely to detract either in the short term or the long term for price performance. So let's go. You can see this project's quite healthy. And we do reach the final conclusion that we do expect the price to perform over time, and I'll get into a summary as to why. Okay, so what problem does the Polkadot network currently solve? The smallest possible answer that I can give you is it significantly reduces the limitations on throughput associated with blockchain. And it also provides a tool set for reducing workloads needed to launch blockchain projects. So to give you a more detailed answer, it uses modularity toolsets for developers, and that allows for developers to save time and technical know-how and costs. So by providing these modules, when you build something called a parachains are blockchains that run on the Polkadot network. They're individual blockchains. So when you build your parachain, you give it certain abilities from these modules. A developer could take one of these modules, take this module, oh, this module does something, and these are pre-built abilities that developers on the Polkadot network build, so developers don't have to waste their time rebuilding things. They can just take one of these modules and add it to the project and give their project certain capabilities, as well as being able to program their own abilities. So that's great for developers. It also takes away the know-how. Like, I'm using a computer device. I don't need to know the circuitry of this computer device. I don't need to know all the, but I can still use it. And so it's something like that. Like you're abstracting away a lot of the technical know-how, and so that can save developers time and costs and effort and stress. Okay, so and it does that on the substrate network. The substrate network or framework is the part built into Polkadot that allows for this modularity that developers can use. So another thing that Polkadot solves is blockchain intercommunication, where Ethereum, the Ethereum network, could launch tokens with abilities. None of these tokens supported intercommunication, so that you were kind of like in isolation, and you also are on top of a single threaded network. So Polkadot launched. The way Polkadot works is it launches entire blockchains with whatever abilities developers want to add to those blockchains. So you can have your project and it comes native with the ability to intercommunicate with other projects. I mean, come on, that's great. So as an entrepreneur using one of these blockchains as your business model, you're far more likely to use something like Polkadot than you would Ethereum, because it comes with this native ability to communicate with other blockchains, and you don't have to build that out, and it comes native. It's already supported. So another thing that the Polkadot project solves is, so in computing you have a single thread, and that's like the information that's being processed on that thread. And in order to increase your bandwidth, you open up more threads while a single thread is processing. So something's going on here, you also have the CPU do another thing here, and the CPU is doing something here and doing something here. So that allows for your total bandwidth, the total size of your bandwidth, to be larger. So it solves scaling through this multi-threaded capability. So I mean, come on, this is a huge thing. This makes blockchains more practical. Okay, so and finally, another great thing that Polkadot does is it allows for blockchains to upgrade without having to fork split the community or fork split the chain. So it's just like regular software updates that will automatically happen once the developers release those updates. I mean, this has been a huge filter for successful projects because, I mean, who designs the blockchain right out of, software is constantly upgraded. It's not made perfect the first time you release it. Even if it goes through several rounds of testing, it doesn't matter. You're always going to have to find upgrades. Okay, so what problem will this project solve in the future, and is it valuable? Okay, guys, so with this project, we are in uncharted waters. The question should be, what is the potential value of human imagination? Polkadot looks to be able to do all the things that blockchains can do while capturing some of that value using the Polkadot networks. So take that as you will. Polkadot is going to be a leaser of immense capabilities that are just have not up until this point have not been available to blockchain projects. So does the team have a track record for showing that they can deliver? Absolutely. Gavin Wood is I would say Gavin Wood's the best blockchain developer. After reviewing this project, that's what I think right now. Obviously, I haven't seen everything in the blockchain space, but I have been in this space for quite some time. And most people will think, oh, Vitalik, he's a very talented one. Dan Larimer, he's a very talented developer. But Gavin Wood, in my opinion, he's probably the best blockchain developer on the planet. And his flagship project is this project. And he's also a filter for whoever's involved with this. So yes, I would say the team has a track record for proving that they can do this. So whenever I start a project, there's two mission critical components that I look for to even make a project valid. Is the token used for services, and do they have a lot of room for growth? So absolutely on both of those things. The token is used for staking. It's used for its consensus mechanism, nominated proof of stake. So it's used in the security level layer of the project, the security layer, and it's used for access to all of Polkadot's servabilities, and it's also used for reserving rent space for these parachains on the Polkadot network. So you have the Polkadot network, you have all these blockchains coming off of it. To use this, you're renting a space on this network. Okay, so and the value of the target market is large. So this is like the foundation. Like when you have a building, you have a foundation and you have all the buildings, right? Or so whatever's built on top of this foundation, it's going to have a charge or service charge here, and then you're going to have whatever buildings or stuff is built on top of it. So yeah, it's like the foundation of the web of value transfer, and there's 2,000 trillion in the world assets, I believe. So 2 quadrillion, I think that's the number, whatever. But there's that. All of the world's assets are going to move in the blockchain, and this project is like the foundation for that. The value created from the Polkadot, and plus whatever value is created from the new efficiencies and the new capabilities that come to humankind for having these abilities that this blockchain and blockchains will be able to offer in the future. So all crypto entrepreneurs are the target market, and so yes, that's going to grow. I mean, the target market is crypto entrepreneurs. So all of the business opportunities that are going to come from that blockchain. All right, so let's start from the top up. Whenever I do a project, I start from the top up. And so the final conclusion is, yes, we believe that the price will perform over time. And the reason we believe that is because we expect the future increase in demand for the token. So we expect the demand for the token to increase over time. So the current market expected growth. So this is the current market served expected growth. It's hard to comprehend the blockchain's growth. The whole blockchain space growth potential is so massive that it cannot be understated. Like all the world's financial instruments are coming to blockchain. So yes, absolutely. Okay, so we expect the future market excitement from the price momentum. Yes, I would say that will probably happen in the future. All right, so let's go over some of the negative things about this project. So current awareness is low before the hype stage. No, this project is as hyped as it gets. Everybody is talking about, Polkadot, and they have a reason to. So this project is hyped to the moon. Okay, so it's hyped. It's super aware. So it's dangerous in the short run. There's a lot of risk with getting in this project now because because, at least in the short run, because it's so hyped, but it's deservedly so. The team members are all well known on Twitter. The project has a large following on Twitter, so it's known. It's not like some unknown thing in the blockchain space. So it has a lot of Twitter followers. So you want to get in the projects before they're known, but with this project, that's impossible because it's well known. Are we before the first marketing campaign? No, this project's already hyped so much, and it's also had its marketing when it was doing the crowd sale. So you can see 4 comes from here to contribute, and so 4 comes from here. So is it not on many exchanges? No, it's already starting to appear everywhere very, very rapidly. So it's taking off everywhere, very rapidly. So it's not difficult to acquire. You want to get in a project while it's difficult to acquire. You want to get back in Bitcoin's early days. It was on something called MTGOX. And it was extremely hard to get Bitcoin with MTGOX. You had to transfer money to something like Australia, and then you had to send it to Japan, which was MTGOX, and it was a very difficult process. And that was when Bitcoin was $1. So take that into consideration when you're looking into future projects. You want to look into projects that are difficult to acquire. This project is not one of those projects. This project is easy to acquire and it's taking off everywhere. So it's going on all the exchanges very rapidly. Okay, so so that's what this 4 was contributing to, whether it's well known or not, and because it's on all these exchanges, it's pretty well known. Okay, so let's go back. We'll keep following this track record up. So money needed to move the price up. So how difficult it is for the price to go up, we expect that difficulty to decrease over time. Excuse me. Okay, so tokens on the sell side to decrease. We expect the factors to decrease the amount of tokens that are on the sell side. Okay, so the reason we're reaching these conclusions is I don't expect a low inflation rate. I don't expect an unreasonable one, but that's not what's important. What's important is that token holders all have the equal ability to access that inflation rate. And the inflation is used through as in incentivization programs to get certain network behaviors for operational efficiency. So, and it's controlled by the token holders. So the bottom line is when inflation is controlled by the token holders, they're going to represent their own interests of the value of the token. So I expect, the inflation to be a non-factor. It might even, it's most likely, it's going to be a contributing factor. It's like the investment into the network itself, because the token holders are responsible for setting it. The token supply distribution is good because they sold 50% upright, and they also had multiple sales between the first market sale. So that first 50%, it's most probably over 65% distributed, which is, once you get over 50%, that's when the distribution stops harming a network. Downward pressure. Okay, so have we been in a bear market? Okay, so this project is 10x up from when it first started 3 years ago, its first crowd sale 3 years ago. But in crypto land, that's actually not even that aggressive. So that, 10x over 3 years. I think Ethereum's like up over 1,000 or it's over like a 4-year span. So in crypto, that's not really that super aggressive, especially with the growth potential that's possible with this project. But something to note is that this is a new arrival, and so price in the short term is going to be very risky. But if you just hold through it, you're likely to see it perform whatever it's going to perform in the long run. But right now, it's got that new arrival warning. I'm just putting that out there. As of the making of this video, it's just coming out onto exchanges. So we do not have a low market cap for this project. This market cap is coming out of the gates to the general public at $3 billion evaluation. That's high, but the market sees some value here. So there's a reason for that evaluation. So let me see here. Current niche, it is serving a current niche. It is live, and the entire blockchain industry, it's a tool set for the entire blockchain industry, and it's also a foundation for the entire blockchain industry. So its current niche is everything that's blockchain related. Okay. All right, so we're going to keep moving on up. Tokens to go down per person over time. We expect the number of tokens to go down, the tokens available per person to go down over time. And even though we have this red right here, this green right here is quite powerful, and I'll get to that, why that is the case. Okay, so this project does not use a token burn mechanism, so that does not contribute anything, it's just neutral. We expect more people to use this project in the future, yes. The project is easy to use. That's one of their components with the substrate framework that's built on this. And their target market is developers. And so yes, absolutely. It's targeted at blockchain developers, substrate toolkit. It's that modularity that I talked about earlier. So yeah, we expect more people to use this in the future. All right, so future awareness to increase, yes, absolutely. And a lot of this is because future marketing campaigns probably won't even need it because it's so well known and it's going for developers. But when you have high value people contributing to things, Okay, so look at my part 1 video to get all the gist of the governance. I go into detail there, but I'll give you just a basic top down of the governance of this project. All I got to say is this is the best governance model I've seen in the entire blockchain space. So that's, take that as you will. So there's added voter weight for time lockup of tokens. That's the most powerful force in any governance structure, which protects it, from it protects it from custodial exchanges. It protects people that haven't bought in from having control of the network. So those who bought into this network are the ones that represent this network. They put something up into the network, and now they're in control of the network. So that's what you want. And since you lock up tokens and get extra weight, that lockup is what this big line is. When projects have that lockup to represent greater stake in greater voice in the future of the network, that significantly reduces the amount of tokens per person because that gives this project long-term vision and it locks up those tokens. This is such an underrated component of, I've literally not seen it used in any other project, but at least the Polkadot team has done the research and they showed how competent they are, how smart they are by incorporating this powerful mechanism for potential price growth in the future. We arrive at the conclusion that this governance is awesome. And you can check out my part 1 video to get a deeper describe of that. So those who think in the long run strategy, you're going to get that from that lockup of tokens and giving you a bigger vote. So since the governance is so well designed, you're going to have these high value people in the long run, and they control everything. The high value people control the strategic partnerships, the long-term vision and strategy, the mission statement, the developer compensation. They design all that stuff. So developers are compensated through the Crowdsale and also participating in the DOT network as DOT holders. So, all right. So let's get to the team. Gavin Wood, this is his flagship project. He's, like I said, the greatest blockchain developer in the world, probably. He's the Ethereum creator. He's the inventor of Solidity. One thing to note is when Ethereum was hacked for I think it was 150 million for the DAO attack, Gavin Wood was the white hat protector of people's funds. He helped save those funds. Even under time constraints, when the hacker was trying to steal funds, he was capable of mitigating that disaster for developers. So he represents the interest of people that invest behind him. And he's also he serves as a filter for talent because he's such a high value person. He's gonna, since this is his flagship, he's putting his name on this project, and he serves as a filter for talent. He's not gonna hire drunkards to work on this project. Okay, so the no hate on drunkards, by the way. Okay, so evidence of ability to solve difficult problems. Okay, so yes, absolutely. I mean, yeah, the best developer team, or Gavin Wood's, and all the other people that contribute. Okay, so current developer team, best of the best. And yes, they're the best. They're the best tech. They're also the best tech. This is the best designed project. This is the best developers. So best option of the competition, yes. Honestly, it's only, there's no one even coming close to this. Okay, so strategic partnerships. You can look at page 16 of the light paper. There's many different strategic partnerships there, and we expect that to grow, as needed. I'll go ahead and put it through this portal to, the partnerships contributes to large business demand of the token in the future. And since they're the best option of the competition, we also expect that to contribute to large business models that demand tokens to reflect their needs. Okay. All right, the current developer team being great, means that they have a long-term vision and they contribute greatly to that long-term vision and strategy. Having high-value people from the future of governance also gives... Okay, so people in the future will control the clear mission statement, and that's what this contributor is. And their current statement is a web where industry and data is our own. Safety is safely secured from any central authority. So you own your data, you own your identity on the web. And that's their mission statement. And it's good they understand that a mission statement is important because that sets the understanding that the mission statement is what everything boils down to. It answers, why you're doing this. So we expect developer motivation to be strong. We also expect high-value upgrades to come from the long-term vision and strategy. So long-term vision and strategy means your upgrades are going to be well-targeted. Okay, so the value of services provided to increase because you have developers that are motivated, you have high-value upgrades, so yes, the value of your services will increase. And ultimately, the value of your services increasing will lead to token demand. Okay, so value of your services increasing will lead to businesses using it. And so these large business models that demand the token to reflect their needs, and since those who bought in represent control of the network, these two things have to come together for huge business demand to come to demand. And yes, they've properly structured that so that they can capture business demand of the token in the future. So value of services provided is the token used for services and the value of the future market, and that contributes to future demand. And that is the entire overview of this excellent project. Final words, this is going to be a beast, or at least the odds are in the favor of this project being extremely relevant in the future of the blockchain industry, as it has this huge amount of well-structured behavior behind it.